2001, when it occurred, I was a high school PE teacher, and I was actually in the weight room teaching a class.
I remember it so clearly. I was 12 years old, and I was getting ready for school. I was in middle school.
I was in the 6th grade. It was second class of the day. We moved around first time and then came back to our homerooms, and the principal came over the intercom and told everyone to turn on the TVs in the classrooms.
And something came across that said a plane had flown to one of the towers, and my initial thought was it was a small plane that someone just had an accident, or it was one of those situations. Didn't think too much of it.
There was over the intercom at school. The principal talked to us about what happened, and then we turned on all the TVs all day and watched the news, and finally we realized the magnitude of the event that happened.
Yeah, I remember being just in the 6th grade, hearing rumors going around the school, kind of heard about planes hitting, but not really sure what. Kind of thought something happened in Chicago near my hometown, but I just remember getting home from school, seeing my parents and family and friends just sitting on the couch, like gathered around watching the TV, kind of just like stunned at what just happened. And I didn't really know what to think of it at the time, just being so young.
Turned on the TV and then saw the other plane hit, and at that point we knew it was something very serious. So from that point on, just stayed glued to the TV for the next couple hours, just watching everything unfold, and it was just kind of a numb feeling, and nobody really said a word. Class of 30 students just kind of sitting there, just in shock.
Went home, and my mom and my sisters were all huddled around the TV, just stunned. And my mom knew somebody in New York, but she didn't know. They didn't work at the trade towers, but she was crying, and I had no idea until probably a couple of years later, really what happened, and it was a rough time after I figured that out and how big it really was. And
I mean, in the days following, like, definitely hit me, just like seeing like the numbers and the statistics and everything that went along with it, just really surprising and shocked.
Just remember just being in shock, and nothing like that had ever happened, in my generation, here on American land. So it was a very difficult day, and just kind of thing. That's probably something that I just never forget.
We had a moment of silence. I think it was every day at the time the first tower hit for the first week.
I think it was hard for everyone, especially those who lost family or friends or anyone they knew, just relatives. I think just know that it's always going to be remembered, never forgotten. And
You'll always be remembered for what happened, and you'll always be loved, and people will never forget.